Alright, hey everybody, Kareem Kandi here, again doing one of the videos for the Jazz Big Band at Tacoma School of the Arts. Hope everybody's been doing well and enjoying quarantine, as much as you can enjoy quarantine, but also that you're all safe and happy and healthy, and hopefully practicing some of these concepts that we're talking about and improving your skills while you've got some extra free time. So what I wanted to talk about today is just basic piano skills. I think it's important if you're a musician studying music and learning this stuff to have some basic piano skills and know your way around a piano. In regards to jazz, many great musicians besides playing on their regular instrument also played some piano. Off the top of my head, ones that come to mind, Dizzy Gillespie played very good piano. Miles Davis, Clifford Brown, Sonny Stitt, John Coltrane, let's see, Eric Dolphy, tons of folks played piano. I think it's very important because not only can you hear and try out concepts and experiment with things, but you can also visually see all of the chords, all of the notes in the chord and things that you're doing with the piano. So I wanted to go over some basic things. In the next few videos we'll cover some kind of crash course in piano to get you guys some skills that you can use and apply for working on things. So first things first, we want to know the layout of the keyboard of the piano. So if you look at the pattern on the keyboard or piano, whatever you got handy, and even, I mean, you can use, if you don't have a piano at home or a keyboard, that's fine too. You can use apps like GarageBand, or you can probably get like little piano apps for free, on your phone. But if you have a keyboard at home, a piano, even better. But if not, you can do this on a keyboard too, but or on your phone or an iPad or whatever, tablet. So if you look at the pattern on the piano, we have white keys, we have black keys. The black keys typically goes in the pattern of 2, 3, 2, 3, and depending on the length of the keyboard, it might have several octaves or just a couple, but that's the pattern. It's 2, 3, 2, 3. The notes of the piano, it follows the alphabet. We have A, B, C, D, E, F, and G, and then it keeps repeating. So really there's only 12 notes, just like your regular instruments, whether you play saxophone, flute, clarinet, trumpet, euphonium, whatever it is. But it's the chromatic scale. So if you find your 2 group, I'm going to start with the first one down here. The one that's on the left here of that first 2 group, that's C. So we'd have C, D, E, F, G, and when we get to G, it starts over again. A, B, C. You'll recognize that as your major scale, C major scale. So again, if you don't know where to start, it's the 2 group, the black keys, the one that's on the left of that. That's your C. So that's your point of reference. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And if you notice, this C up here is at the start of another 2 group at the left of that 2 group, just like this one here. So it looks exactly the same. Visually, the keys all look the same from octave to octave. So that's it. That's the general note set. Now the black keys, these are your flats and your sharps. So what do I mean by that? Well, if I look at this C again right here, that's my C, and the one that's right above that, remember, sharps raise a note by a half step, flats lower a note by a half step. So this is my C. If I go up a half step here to that first black key, that's C sharp. All right. So then I'd go to D, D sharp, E, F, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. Now, as I said just a moment ago, not only is it the sharps, but it's also the flats. So here's how that works. This is C sharp, but it can also be D, if I go down a half step, D flat. So this is a term in music they call enharmonic, where it's a note can have more than one name. So again, if I point to this key right here, that's C sharp, it's also D flat. This one here is D sharp, it's also E flat. F, F sharp, G, G flat. G, G sharp, A flat. A sharp, B flat. So we have C, C sharp, D, D sharp, E, F sharp, G, G sharp, A sharp, B, C. And coming back down, C, B flat, A flat, G flat, F, E flat, D flat, C. And again, I know some of you probably play piano and you know this information. Some of you don't, so I want to make sure that you know, we're covering all the bases here. So for those that you don't know, hopefully this makes some sense as to how to find these notes. Yeah, it purrs if left unattended. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell. In terms of building, I guess I should back up. So what you can start with is you can take any piece of music and then just start learning how to figure out, all right, if that's a G, all right, well, there's G, there's A, there's B. Being able to figure that stuff out too. If we have time, with enough videos, we can go over like fingerings and stuff for scales and all that kind of stuff too. But just, you know, start working on picking out melodies just on piano. I mean, you can use your stuff from like wind ensemble or method books or whatever, or even what I would recommend is even like beginning band books like Standard of Excellence, you know, Volume 1, Volume 2, Volume 3, and doing that. Or if you're more savvy with like fake books and things of that nature, Jamie Aebersold's, you can work on starting to play right hand, you know, the right hand part of the piano, the treble clef part, and just to work on sight reading and getting some facility on the piano. I think that's a very good exercise. In regards to building chords or even playing tunes, what I would recommend is a lot of times if you look at a piece of music like in jazz, or whether we're in the big band or in the combo class, or if you're looking at jazz music, a lot of times you'll have the melody line and then chords up above, like, you know, G7, C7, whatever, things of that nature. You can play the single note melody in the right hand and then the single note in a bass. Like, for example, let's say we're doing... say we have 4 bars of some sort of melody, and then we have the chords underneath. Well, you could work on just doing a single note, like, let's say the chord is C7 for 4 bars. So say, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And when you get a little bit more, a little bit stronger at playing these things, you could actually construct bass lines with your left hand. So, and I can maybe in another video show you like the two-handed thing, but what I wanted to get into, basically, first and foremost, you know, learn the right hand, learn to sight read individual single note lines with the right hand, and then play single notes in the bass, just starting with whole notes and half notes and things of that nature. What I would recommend is if you have 1 chord per measure, just play a whole note with the left hand in the bass. If you have 2 chords per measure, just do 2 half notes. So let's say I've got half notes, like say I have a measure of C for 2 beats, well, the 2 beats of C and then 2 beats of F, so it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, as opposed to if it was a bar of C going to a bar of F, that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's how to do like simple left-hand bass lines. From there, what I want to talk about in the rest of this video is how to start constructing simple chords. So all chords that we have, whether it's a 2-note chord, 3-note chord, 4-note chord, 5-note chord, 6-note chord, you're just stacking thirds on top of each other. And remember, thirds, if I'm talking about like, here's my scale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Thirds is, if this is 1, 1, 2, 3, that would be a third. And you've heard this sound before. All right, so there's 2 types of thirds. That's it. We have a major third and we have a minor third. So again, the distance from C to C sharp, that's a half step. So how to figure out thirds? If I start on C, here's my C, that's 0. And let's say I'm trying to build a C major third. Then I start on C, 0, and I count up 4 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. When I play those 2 notes together, I'll get a major third. All right, so and this applies to anywhere on the piano. You always get the same result, no matter what's the root of the chord that you're starting on. So if I say I want to build an F chord, F would be the root. If I want to build an A flat chord, A flat would be the root. So let's do that. Here's F. If I want to build an F major third, here's F. That's 0, and I count up 4 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I play those 2 together. And that pattern anywhere on the piano or keyboard will give you a major third. And again, you want to do this with the left hand. The melody is going to be the right hand. The chords will be in the left hand. So let's find a couple more here. Here's A flat. So if I want to build an A flat major third, I start on A flat. That's 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my A flat major third. And the thing is, you got to be sure that you are counting correctly. So check your work and be sure you're not skipping a half step in there, because that does happen from time to time. So try to make sure you're counting accurately. Let's find another one. Here's B. So that's 0. So I need to count up 4 half steps to build a major third. 1, 2, 3, 4. So just with major triads, if I want to play like a simple blues, let's try that out. Here's a 12-bar blues. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. F chord. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Back to C. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, G. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So simple 12-bar blues, just using 2-note chords or thirds. So those are major thirds. The other type of third that we have is called it's a minor third, and it works the exact same way as the major third, except you start from the root and you count up 3 half steps. So let's go back to C. Let's build a C minor third. Here's C, so 0, and we count up 1, 2, 3. I'm going to play it up here. So here's the major third, 4 half steps. Here's the minor third, 3 half steps. So major, minor. So that's the only difference, is the major one you count up 4 half steps, the minor one you count up 3 half steps. That's it. So let's find a couple minors here. Here's F sharp. So I'm going to build an F sharp minor third. So I start on F sharp is 0. We count 1, 2, 3. So play them together. All right, let's find a B flat minor third. So B flat is right here. So 0, 1, 2, 3. And so again, if you compare it to the major, you can really hear that difference. Here's the major third, 4 half steps. Here's the minor third. So that's it in terms of thirds. And all of the chords that we construct are just based on thirds. We have triads, and I think with this particular keyboard, it only allows you to play like three or 4 notes at a time, and then it kind of silences it. But on most keyboards and pianos, you can play, up to like a 6-note, 7-note chord. So here's a major triad, just 2 stacked thirds. Here's a major 7. Yeah, this one only lets you play 3 notes at a time, and hear 3 notes sounding at a time. But basically you can go 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, massive chords, just stacking thirds, major thirds and minor thirds, and you can produce all these different types of chords, which we're going to go through in other videos, like how to build them and construct them. So, but basically, the next thing we'll get into is constructing major triads and minor triads. There's 4 types of triads, and then there's actually four types of triads, and then there's also suspended triads, which we'll talk about those too. But if we have time, we'll probably have to do that in another video. But so the first triad, tri meaning 3, is a 3-note chord. So you stack 2 thirds on top of one another. We start with a major third. I'll build from F here. So here's F, that's 0. So it's major third plus minor third. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4. There's our major third, and on top of that we build a minor triad. 1, 2, 3. Actually, this is only letting me play 2 notes at a time here. But we should have. So that's a major triad. Now, to build a minor triad, well, actually, let's build another major here. So let's go from A. All right, so here's 0. We're going to build an A major triad. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4. And on top of that, 1, 2, 3. So there's my major triad, A major triad. Let's talk about minor here. So minor triad, we'll go back to F. That's 0. So we start with a minor third, and then we put a major third on top. So 0, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4 above that. So major, minor. So again, all we have to do to differentiate between the two is if you want to build a major triad, you just take a major third, and on top of that you add a minor third. To build a minor triad, you build a minor third, and then you add a major third on top of that. Let's do one more of those. Here's A. So I want to build an A minor triad. So 0, 1, 2, 3. and then 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my minor triad. So again, here's A major. Here's A minor. And I'm playing each of the notes individually, but if you were to play this on a normal keyboard or piano, you can hear all three of those notes sounding at the same time, and you'll hear the true sound of like a major triad or a minor triad. So we'll continue on next time with talking about like augmented triads, diminished triads, and sus chords and inversions, and go from there. But hopefully now you know where the notes are on the piano, how to build simple chords with the left hand, simple triads, major thirds, minor thirds, and major triads and minor triads. We'll talk about the left-hand bass. I'll see if I can get a proper keyboard rigged up to do like single note bass lines and melodies next time too. So happy practicing, and I'll see you later. Thanks. Bye.